baby, wake up. No, I can't let this, okay?
Let go.
Wait, it wasn't me. Christian Obamselli, please.
Listen, sit down. Do me a favor, sit down. Do not
Why are
move.
you yelling at me?
Do not move.
Why are you yelling at me?
So he throws you against the wall.
Then he put me on the ground.
You threw the knife at him. Yeah.
But I was so scared. Is he dead?
Listen. Sit down.
Okay, no, I'll sit down. I just, you scared me.
Sit down.
Welcome back to Monsters Among Us, where we unearth the most twisted and harrowing stories, cases that make you question just how well we truly know the people around us. Today, we bring you the tale of Courtney Clenney, a rising social media star whose life appeared flawless from the outside. Glamorous photos, glittering events, and endless admiration. But beneath the filters and curated perfection lay something dark, a storm building in the shadows. In April 2022, that storm broke loose in a shocking moment of violence. In the heart of Miami, her luxury apartment became the scene of an unthinkable tragedy: the stabbing death of her boyfriend, Christian Obamselli. Today, we pull back the curtain on this chilling story, delving into the toxic depths of their relationship, the chilling events of that fateful day, and the lingering impact that continues to haunt all those touched by it. Courtney Clenney was living the dream, or so it seemed. With over 2 million followers hanging onto her every post, she was a sensation on social media. Her world appeared like something straight out of a fairy tale. Luxury apartments, high-end fashion, exotic vacations, all captured in glamorous selfies and exclusive content that kept her fans captivated and her bank account overflowing. From the outside, Courtney had it all, but behind the meticulously crafted facade, something dark was lurking, waiting to shatter the illusion she had so carefully built. Born on April 21st, 1996, Courtney had lived a life of comfort and privilege from the very beginning. Growing up in Texas, she was the daughter of Ken Clenney, a successful financial advisor who ensured she never wanted for anything. Family and friends would later say that Courtney was raised with every advantage, her every whim indulged, especially by her mother, Deborah. She lived a life that many could only dream of, a life where no was never part of her vocabulary. But by April 3rd, 2022, all the fame and fortune in the world couldn't save her from what was coming. Courtney's picture-perfect world was about to unravel in a way no one could have foreseen, leading to a shocking tragedy that would leave her fans, her family, and the public reeling. As Courtney entered adulthood, one thing became crystal clear. Her passion for fitness wasn't just a hobby, it was who she was. She poured herself into the gym, sculpting her physique with relentless dedication. Each day, she worked to refine not just her body, but the image she wanted to project to the world. Her devotion became her identity, and soon, it would become her career. She achieved certification as a personal trainer, eager to inspire others with her intense focus. But the story didn't stop there. As she posted photos online, something surprising began to happen. Her following grew rapidly, her look and energy captivating audiences far beyond her fitness clientele. The allure of her online persona proved magnetic, drawing thousands to her profile. Soon, Courtney realized she didn't need to be a trainer to reach the success she dreamed of. Her striking looks and carefully cultivated image were enough. The attention and money that began pouring in changed her life in ways she never expected, placing her on a path that would lead to heights and depths she could never have foreseen. Then, in 2016, a new platform emerged, OnlyFans. It was the next big thing for online creators, and Courtney saw it as an opportunity she couldn't pass up. Eager to expand her reach and boost her income, she dove in head first. Her popularity skyrocketed, attracting a massive following that catapulted her to a new level of fame. Brand deals came flooding in, bringing thousands of dollars each week. Courtney basked in her newfound celebrity, thriving in the constant flow of attention and cash that poured her way. She was on top of the world, living the dream she had crafted so carefully. But even the brightest spotlight can cast a long shadow, and for Courtney, the darker side of her fame was closing in. In 2020, fate brought Courtney Clenney and Christian Toby Obumseli together, two Texans whose lives seemed to align like a storybook romance. Toby, born on April 12, 1994, was known for his kind spirit, his generosity, and a relentless drive that had brought him success in the stock market. He'd built a comfortable life, and to those who knew him, he was someone who poured his heart into everything, whether it was his career or the people he loved. When he first met Courtney, Toby was enchanted. She was a blonde bombshell in every sense, captivating, energetic, and charming. For him, it was an instant attraction that quickly grew into something deeper, and before long, he'd fallen completely under her spell. The couple's romance blossomed almost overnight, and soon they were inseparable, wrapped in a whirlwind of passion and adventure. Lavish vacations, sun-soaked days, and glamorous nights filled their lives, creating the perfect picture of young love. To friends and family, it all seemed like a dream. Everything about their relationship was exciting, effortless, and picture-perfect. But as the honeymoon phase faded, the shine on their storybook romance began to dull. Beneath the sparkling surface, small cracks started to show, signs that all was not as flawless as it seemed. And as their passion began to turn from playful to turbulent, their love story started drifting toward a darker path, one that neither could have foreseen. As time passed, Courtney and Toby's once enchanting romance unraveled into something turbulent and toxic. Their personalities began to clash more intensely, and friends noticed an unsettling change in Toby. The vibrant, carefree man they once knew seemed to fade, his usual spark replaced by a tense, exhausted demeanor. It was as if Courtney's presence in his life had drained him, and those closest to him began to worry that something was terribly wrong. Over time, Courtney's behavior grew increasingly controlling. She wanted Toby all to herself, and any time he spent with friends, or even time alone, seemed to provoke her ire. Small disagreements turned into explosive arguments, with Courtney screaming at him, throwing accusations in his face, and refusing to let things go. Then, the verbal fights crossed into darker territory. Courtney's anger boiled over into violence. She began to slap and punch Toby in the arms and chest during these outbursts. But still, he stayed. He loved her, and he clung to the hope that things would eventually get better. Yet, Toby's role in her life shifted dramatically. He became more than her boyfriend. He became her personal assistant, catering to her every demand, constantly by her side with little room for his own life. The weight of Courtney's needs left him stretched thin and exhausted. Meanwhile, Courtney's behavior only continued to spiral. She started frequenting local bars, drinking heavily, and her alcohol-fueled outbursts often made things worse. Their arguments grew louder, fiercer, spilling over until neighbors called the police just to quiet the storm. What had once been love had turned into something twisted and destructive, setting them both on a dangerous path with no way back.
What's going on today?
Things got blown out of proportion. Like to the max.
Have you ever been cited or arrested before?
Yes.
For what?
DUI.
So, why am I here? What's going on?
My boyfriend and I just got into like a loud argument.
So you called once again for what? Why did you call for help?
Because we were getting really loud. We were getting loud. And I was like, oh my God, we're gonna like do damage to the room or something. Not damage to each other. Like I really wanna like
But why would you
highlight
think
that.
why would you think that you were gonna do damage to the room?
I like throwing something or like
Did you throw something?
did I?
Yeah.
No.
Did anybody throw anything?
No.
So why would you think that there is damage to the room to be made?
Because I've done that before in our house. And I
What have you done?
Thrown a glass at him, plate.
Did you throw a glass or a plate at him today?
No.
Okay. So if
No, this is before.
Okay, so when I go to the room and I see a broken glass on the floor, where did the glass come from?
I don't know. I literally couldn't even remember how the fight started.
Okay, well.
Was there?
Yeah.
Maybe I did.
Okay.
I'm being completely honest with you. I feel like my brain is scrambled eggs right now.
Did anybody punch, hit, spit, throw anything at each other? Did he hit you or you did at him?
Well, I'm guessing that I threw a glass, but that sounds like me. So. Oh, by the way, I just want to say, somebody mentioned earlier about there being a chair on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
That was there. I don't know why we hadn't picked it up. That had nothing to do with the fight. We weren't throwing furniture at each other.
During yet another visit from the police, Courtney, her voice sharp and eyes blazing, admitted she had thrown a glass at Toby in the heat of an argument. Though the incidents were escalating, Toby refused to press charges, clinging to the hope that somehow their love could weather the storm. Desperation fueled their belief that a change of scenery might bring peace. They dreamed of leaving Texas behind and starting fresh. Toby set his sights on London, yearning for a world away, while Courtney chose Miami, a city as wild and intense as their relationship. And so, in January 2022, the couple landed in Miami, unpacking their dreams into a sleek $10,000 a month condo overlooking Biscayne Bay. The condo was stunning, with sweeping ocean views, floor-to-ceiling windows, and a glimmer of promise they both latched onto. But beneath its polished surface, tension simmered. Courtney, quick to anger, often reminded Toby who was paying the rent, wielding their luxury as a weapon in their toxic arguments. More than once, she threatened to kick him out, using their home as both a sanctuary and a prison. What should have been a new beginning was merely the old tempest in a new, expensive cage. The city hadn't changed them. Instead, it only magnified the storm that had been brewing all along. It didn't take long before Courtney slipped into a cycle of reckless nights and flashing club lights, immersing herself in Miami's nightlife scene with abandon. Almost every night, she was out, lost in the blur of bar crawls and roaring music, her drinking adding fuel to the growing fires at home. The condo, once a symbol of their fresh start, became a battlefield, each argument more explosive than the last. In the peak of her anger, Courtney would fling Toby's clothes and personal belongings off the balcony, her rage leaving a trail of shattered memories along the pavement below. Friends watched with growing concern as she destroyed nearly all he owned, only to regret it hours later. To make up for her fits, she'd splurge on expensive designer replacements, as though she could smooth over the damage with luxury goods. But these gifts were a poor disguise for the deepening cracks in their relationship. In one disturbing incident, security footage revealed the darkness behind their closed doors. Courtney physically attacking Toby in an elevator, her fury caught on camera for all to see. The violence was no longer hidden, and with each fight, the distance between them only widened, the fractures spreading and deepening. Each argument seemed to pull them closer to a tragic conclusion, like a slow-motion disaster waiting for its final blow. When Courtney wasn't at home taking her anger out on Toby, she was busy networking and socializing, both online and in person. Despite the turmoil in their relationship, she continued to present an image of confidence and success. In fact, during the height of their abusive relationship, she made a public appearance on the We in Miami podcast, where she openly boasted about her massive following, her attraction to wealthy black men, and even casually mentioned her own toxic behavior. It was a chilling glimpse of the disconnect between her public persona and the dark reality of her private life.
Do you like to be fully controlled, or do you? I like to be submissive. Yeah, in the bedroom,
Yes.
but like in my life, I don't like anybody to tell me what to do.
Yeah, so you only want him to tell you what to do in the bedroom. Other than that, you don't want him to tell you anything.
Right. That's exactly it. Yes.
So that sounds like you're a control freak with your relationships. Be careful with this one. She's gonna boss you around like
Exactly.
Sweet toxicity.
Tell me.
So you only date rich black guys. So like, have you ever dated like any politicians or only like rappers or athletes or what kind of like rich black guys?
You know, dabble here, dabble there, a
Yeah.
little bit.
How much do you make them off?
A lot.
Yeah, we make good money.
Despite the ever-worsening cracks in their relationship, Toby clung to hope. He continued giving Courtney chance after chance, defending her outbursts and actions to his friends and family, assuring them she could change. But the turbulence only grew stronger. By March 2022, Courtney had made up her mind. She wanted Toby out. To strengthen her resolve, she invited her mother to stay with them for a week, a subtle barrier between herself and Toby. Her mother, hoping to mend things from the inside, watched over the strained couple, but by April 1st, she left, believing they needed space to work things out on their own. What followed was anything but a resolution. On April 2nd, the condo's concierge noticed the tension spiraling out of control during yet another heated argument between Courtney and Toby. The shouting and anger filled the halls, raising red flags for the staff, who quickly called the police, sensing the potential for disaster. When the officers arrived, they went directly to Courtney, hoping to understand what had happened, unaware that the worst was yet to come.
Can you please let me into my apartment? Please?
Okay.
Yes. I have
Excuse me, hold on. What's going on?
Okay.
Where's your apartment? You have a key?
We have
Ma'am, you don't need to talk to me. What's
What
going
are
on?
you lying about?
Where's your key?
I'm in my apartment.
You didn't call.
I didn't. Nobody.
I called. You called.
What?
What's going on?
But
What's
on
going on?
him-
Okay, hold on, ma'am. Let him talk.
Okay.
Ma'am, hold on.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The front desk personnel, this young lady, I was actually, with the other guy. She informed us that Miss Courtney, her boyfriend, was trying to get into the elevator with her, but she had her hands out like this.
Okay.
And she had her hands out like this, and she was like, "Oh no, don't come inside the elevator."
Okay.
So we asked her, I said, "Do you want him to leave the property?" She said no, she don't want him to.
I did not say that. I said yes.
Hold on.
No, but the
Hold on. He's talking. Then you talk.
Let him speak.
Let him speak.
Nigga, your turn. Nigga, your turn.
We were quiet when you were speaking. Why not?
I say, "Are you certain for sure, do you want him to leave?" "Oh, no. And then I just said, enough is enough. Police need to be called." She said she don't want police to be called.
Okay.
Okay, but you
Time
told me I
out.
was
Time out. Let me talk. Okay.
I feel very like.
What's your name? Courtney?
Yes.
Okay, Courtney.
Why do you have something against me, man? Like I'm just trying to like. Are you gonna listen?
We're listening. Go
Did you
ahead.
say something wrong?
Yes.
Courtney, what's going on? What do you need?
Okay, can you
What?
Yeah. Go ahead.
my boyfriend. He hasn't been anywhere. Okay. I don't care. I'll hold it down. This guy said I shoved her. When I was upstairs and they showed up on my door, said I shoved him. I said, show me the video. Like, I really got angry because that did not happen. All I did was take my dogs.
All right. So what do you want to say?
I want a restraining order against Christian Gonzalez.
We don't issue those.
Because,
Those
no,
are
I'm
through
serious.
courts.
Can I do that?
You
Where
have to
can
go
I
to court. You have to go to
Okay, but
downtown
how
or
can
get
I make
petition.
myself first?
Who's on the phone with you?
Just my dad.
Okay. Well, let me
Which I think is reasonable.
let me explain to you something with your dad on the phone, so you could hear me. You asked me, how can I get a restraining order against him? I answer you, we don't issue those. That's through court. You asked me, I need to get one before him. I told you, the only way is for you to get to court. Then you asked me, is he on the way already? And I asked you, I don't even know how he looks like. You understand? It's your questions that are making much of an.
I am.
Listen to me. Answer my questions, please. Does he have property in the room in the apartment with you? A lot of property, you said. He's been with you here for about 2 months, right? Has he on and off, or is he staying with you?
For 2 months every day.
Is staying with you for 2 months here with you? Okay.
Except for last week, he wasn't working.
Okay, let me let you know something. He lives here. That person lives in that apartment with you. Okay, we cannot trespass anybody that lives in this place. So we can by law we cannot do this.
And that's, I do understand that, and that is why I said, can I get a restraining order and get there first?
Listen, my answer was, I already answered that. You got it. Just go to the court.
Stop. They're stalking me.
After that explosive confrontation, the entire condo knew, residents and staff alike, that Courtney and Toby's relationship was a ticking time bomb. Whispers spread through the halls, and people exchanged wary glances. Surely many assumed this blowout would be the final straw, a breaking point for a relationship so visibly strained. But when the morning light poured through their windows, Courtney and Toby were back to their usual routine, as if the night before had left no marks, no scars. Then, on the evening of April 3rd, 2022, the delicate illusion unraveled. A frantic 911 call rang out, breaking the silence in a way that everyone had feared, but no one was prepared for. What unfolded that night would change everything. The fragile threads of their relationship, strained beyond repair, finally snapped, leaving a haunting legacy that would ripple through all who had witnessed the storm gathering within their walls.
Operator, don't give the address of your emergency. Okay, ma'am, please. 3101. It's 130, so 130. Ma'am, listen to me. You need to stop screaming on the line and give me the address.
I can't feel my arm.
3101.
I can't feel my arm.
Ma'am.
So my boyfriend is dying of a stabbing.
Ma'am, what is the address?
What's that? What's the address, baby? 3131. 3131, Northeast 7th Ave. Please, God, please. Come see my boyfriend.
Is this a house, apartment, or a business?
Baby, I'm so sorry, baby.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
In response to the urgent 911 call, officers sped to the high-rise condo Courtney and Toby shared at 3131 Northeast 7th Avenue. Stepping into the apartment, they were met with a haunting sight. Toby lay in Courtney's arms, his face pale, a deep stab wound marking his chest. Blood pooled beneath him, seeping into the floor, while crimson stains traced a grim path through the apartment. From the bathroom to the living room, each drop a silent witness to the violence that had just erupted. The once pristine space was now a chilling tableau of shattered lives and broken promises.
Baby, wake up. No, I can't let this, okay?
Wait,
it wasn't me. Christian Christian. Please.
Listen, sit down. Do me a favor, sit down. Do not move.
Why are you yelling at me?
Do not move.
Why are you yelling at me?
Do not move, sit down.
Okay,
we don't know what's going on. We don't know what happened.
I'm terrified
So
for him.
right now, yeah.
Make some space for the door and let's get him out.
So he throws you against the wall?
Then he put me on the ground.
You threw the knife at him?
Yeah.
But I was so scared. Is he dead?
Listen. Sit down.
Okay, no, I'll sit down. I just, you scared me.
Sit down.
He's not dead, is he?
We don't.
No, they're taking him to the hospital.
As paramedics worked frantically to stabilize Toby, police gently asked Courtney to step outside. She walked out into the hallway, her clothes and hands streaked with blood. Clutching her small dogs close, she hugged and kissed them with a calm that seemed almost surreal against the chaos unfolding around her. Moments later, officers led her away to the station for questioning. Courtney admitted quietly that she'd been the one to stab Toby, yet to their surprise, she didn't ask for a lawyer. Instead, she began talking, her words tumbling out in a jumbled rush. Hour after hour, she rambled on, her story twisting and turning in a haze of details, each one adding to the mystery of what had truly happened that night.
So freaking out right now a little bit. I wanted to go to the hospital and I want to just call my fucking mom. And I know that I do not get that, right? I know it. But here's the thing, is that this is constitutional rights waiver. My dad handles my lawyer. I'm not going to take a court-appointed lawyer. My dad handles my lawyer. I would not be calling my lawyer. So my dad is the first person who I'd call, if that makes sense. I've never been in a situation like this where somebody's in a hospital. I've never been in this kind of situation. That's why, like, I don't want to do anything wrong. You know?
I mean, it's your decision at the end of the day. But
what happens if not?
If not, then that's it. We don't talk about what happened to him. We just have to take the stories that we've been told from the people next door and previous situations, and try and narrow it down to what happened today.
You get a much better picture, a much better idea coming from you who was there today than us trying to piece it together
from
other
people
that
as well.
weren't in there, you know. There's no better story to get than yours who was there. So which is why we prepare from you. But you know, like you said, it's your decision if you want to or not. But for us to obviously proceed and make a better decision for all of us, it's getting your story, you know. You were there. You know, you were
My boyfriend is not dead, is he?
Well, he can't talk to us right now either way. He's in the hospital.
Jack is his homicide.
Yeah, so I don't know.
That's like the Dexter vibe. All of those things are like.
I believe to you on scene. It's Sunday, so Sunday domestic violence scenes don't work. So we handle their calls anytime we get any type of domestic violence calls. We handle it for them, and so that's why we were raised from the beginning.
Can I go and come back?
No, unfortunately, no, I can't. It's steps, you know. Once we handle this, and we'll go to the next step.
Is there a chance I'm going to go home tonight?
I don't have a definite answer for you.
Okay, well, I'll just...
I suppose. So, the time is...
I was doing laundry and watching a Christina Randall, or listening to a Christina Randall video, and tried to call my mom. She didn't answer the first time. And then he came back with a Subway sandwich. Before he left, he recited exactly what I wanted. And I said, I'll text what I want to you. And he said, I know what you want. And I said, no, you don't. And he recited it to me before he left. And he got it perfectly right.
Okay.
And then he left. I guess he went to go bike over there. That's just what he said. I don't know if he walked or biked, but he told me he's going to bike personally.
Like a bicycle?
Yeah.
Okay.
He came back, and I said something about, like, oh, are you going to, like, reshare your location with me? Like, did you want to share it? And he said, yeah, I shared it. And I was like, oh, when did you do that? And he goes, the other day, like, when you were done with me. And I was like, okay, well, fair enough. Like, reshare it. And then he told, it kind of like turned into like a little like argument or something. And then he told me to reshare mine, and I was like, okay, yeah, I will. And then I didn't do it immediately. He asked me about it again. And I don't know what I was thinking, but it just said something about, well, what if I'm somewhere you don't want me to be?
Okay.
Which I wouldn't have been. I love him. But just like, you know, maybe you don't want to know where I am. I guess maybe they'll just like hurt him because he was pressing me. And he ended up pinning me against the wall. And then, I said like choking me on the floor. It's just like, they were looking at my neck and I was like, I'm not saying like choking me like, you know, whatever. But he had my like neck, like and this happened twice before, where I couldn't breathe and I was on the floor. Yeah. I could not breathe, and I don't think that he is trying to kill me, but I was scared, and all 3 times I have been scared. So yeah, I'm on the floor, and he had me pinned, and lets me up. I'm on the get my mom on the phone. and I'm just trying to really remember. I hear my mom on the phone, and I remember she was standing like against the couch. Like we were obviously it was a big deal at this point. So this happened like over by the door and somehow moved like over in the living room. We were standing by the couch, facing toward the kitchen. I was in the kitchen, and then he just like I could see like all the whites in his eyes, and he was like coming at me, and so I grabbed one of these knives. My mom got me for Christmas. I grabbed one of them, and I was like, I swear to God. I swear to God. It was just like, I mean, I grab it and be like, don't come anywhere closer to me. Because, earlier, that was happening 2 other times, I couldn't fucking breathe. I'm sorry. I couldn't breathe. And it's very scary. And I just think, like, just like this kind of thing where I was saying, like, do you know if he's okay? If he's choking me and he's angry enough, he might, like, this is different, I think. But if he's, like, choking me or, like, pinning me or something and I can't breathe, he might go too long. So I grab my knife and I said, don't come anywhere closer to me. I had absolutely no intention of using it. I'm on the phone with my mom, and he's coming at me like he's going to grab either the phone or, like, the knife or something. And so I was just like, I was like, don't come any closer. Coming at me, and I threw it. And I meant for it to go.
How far away was he?
Well, I was by my fridge, and he was like by the edge of one of the chairs of the sofa.
Okay.
Like
comparing to what
10 feet. I'm trying to think in my head. I'm trying to make the.
Was he closer than I am?
No, but he was further.
So like the length of his room?
No, further than that.
Okay.
Oh, well, if I said, yeah, you're right, it was more than 10 feet then. It was definitely further than this.
Okay.
I mean, it's closer. It looks a lot smaller than it is here.
It was further than this.
Okay. So then, you were by the fridge and he was by the couch? You were by the fridge and he was by the couch?
Yes, I was in front of the fridge. He was by the couch.
Yes. And then
behind my island.
Then what kind of movements did he make at the moment? He was going to walk
running
up?
At me.
Running? Okay.
Well, charging, aggressively walking, something.
What was he doing? Like, was he doing something with his hands or?
Doing he had his hands up. I couldn't tell you exactly.
Was he yelling at you at the time?
Yes.
Yeah. What was he saying?
Well, I'm supposed to tell. I put my hand up, so I really need to think. So. Yeah, I remember one of the things, but I don't think it's relevant.
No, go ahead, tell me. It might be relevant. It might help me understand this a little more.
He said, why don't you go find one of the fucking guys in G-Wagons? Because I had said something about that when I broke up with him like a week ago. Out of anger. I didn't say it because I want that, because I love him. But it was just one of the things that you said.
Was that at the moment that he was charging you or earlier in one of the arguments?
It was before he choked me. Yes, it was before he choked me.
Okay.
Or whatever.
So he gets...
So no, not right then. I couldn't tell you exactly what he said right then.
Okay. So...
But I swear to God, I was scared. I mean, after like what I was scared, and I was on the phone with my mom, and it was still happening.
Yeah.
I was scared.
So you told me that he had you against the wall at one point, right? With his hands over your neck.
Mm-hmm.
And how did you end up from the wall to the ground?
Let me go.
Uh-huh.
Let me go, and then I started swinging on him because I had been against the wall.
Okay.
I started trying to hit him.
Yeah.
And then He put me on the ground.
He dropped you to the ground. What did he do? Like, did he like lift you up, or did he grab your hair? Did he just kind of like rotate you onto the ground?
I really couldn't even tell you.
He pushed you.
If I could have like been given all these questions, you know, before, I could be like, maybe let me like think about it. Or when I'm trying to remember like a whole situation of where I was very upset about something, which I've learned this in therapy and whatever. It's like write down like all the details so you don't forget. Just like write it all out clearly so that it makes sense to you and makes sense to somebody else. But I haven't had a chance to have a pen and paper or my phone to like write down exactly what happened, and I haven't really even like fully thought about it.
Yeah.
So honestly, my answer is I don't remember.
That's fine. So he has you on the ground. You end up on the ground, and he has his hands over your neck. Correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And then is he saying something to you at the time when he's on the ground on top of you, or?
He was saying something like gritting his teeth. I don't remember what it was.
Like what?
He was saying something like gritting his teeth, like with the white through his eyes, but I don't remember what it was.
Okay. And then he at one point he stops, right? Sorry. And what, you get up, you go to the bedroom, or what do you do?
I get my phone from the kitchen. When I got my phone from the kitchen, I called my mom. I was talking to her, and then he was following me around the apartment and acting like, I mean, just like after, we shouldn't be together.
You guys have a history of domestic violence?
Yeah.
You say you've been together how long, sorry?
Almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
Year and a half to 2 years.
So how many incidents you think you've had?
I don't know, but we shouldn't be together.
We say one or two, or just too many to.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I haven't touched my ankle. It's like what? Like I just want to take a shower, God.
According to Courtney's account, the argument erupted when she discovered Toby had disabled location sharing on his iPhone, cutting off her ability to track him. Anger flared, and she confronted him, demanding he turn it back on. Toby eventually conceded but asked that she do the same in return, a request she refused outright. The air grew thick with tension, and as Courtney recounted, things spiraled quickly. She claimed Toby suddenly charged at her, and in a moment of panic, she seized a nearby knife. Acting on impulse, she threw it. Her aim was swift and unerring, the blade striking him squarely in the chest, a single blow that left him bleeding and gasping.
I do not think that this was... I don't know. I really don't know if this is justified at all. I actually don't know.
Well, that's what
I really don't know, because I know I was scared, but I really don't know.
So you grabbed the knife?
Because I grabbed a knife. I grabbed a knife, and I said, like, pretty much just, like, don't get any closer to me. And then, came with me, said something, came with me. And then I just, like, threw it. And I really
How exactly did you throw it? Did you just throw like that?
How many times?
No, how exactly did you throw it? Like, you threw it like this, or kind of like, you flung it at him, overhead, or how did that?
Oh, I just flung it.
You just flung it? Over your head, or from
like this.
Okay. So from like beside your head?
Holding it, yeah. So not like, okay, like I'm holding it like this. This is not the knife, the
blade to it?
Right, the blade. I for dang sure did not stab him. That would be insane. I mean, I didn't even think that this would touch him. But, I mean, I thought that I would scare him by just grabbing it. I thought I would scare him by just grabbing it, but that didn't work. So, anyway, comes at me, and then I just flung it. Okay. And I was kind of just trying to fling it past
When you threw it, when you flung it, how close was he at that time?
I mean, I said 10 feet, but if this is 10 feet, it was definitely more than 10 feet.
Okay.
I mean, if somebody goes into my apartment, they can see how far it was.
Yeah.
But I did not want it to actually injure him.
Mm-hmm.
That
and what
might
did
be
he
okay,
do?
but
What
this
did
kind of thing.
What did he do after you flung the knife at him? Did he walk around, or did he fall right then and there, or what happened?
He fell down.
He fell down.
Yeah.
He didn't walk around or anything like that, or still try and chase you, or what?
No, because it hit him.
Because it hit him.
You know where the knife hit him?
I think it was like right here.
Okay. And what did you do after he fell?
I ran over to him and grabbed him, and like it was just like a blur, but I ran over to him and I grabbed him, and I just said, "Oh my God, what do I do? What do I do?" Like I'm like the worst person to be around. What do I do? And he said call somebody, and I was on the phone with my mom.
He said that.
He said just call somebody, and I was like, okay, I'm on the phone with my mom. I said, Mom, what do I do? What do I do? She said, call 911. I think I called 911. I actually don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
That's obviously the easiest thing y'all can look up. Is if I call. I really don't remember.
Investigators soon uncovered a chilling detail. After the stabbing, Courtney hadn't called 911 right away. Instead, she dialed her mother, precious minutes slipping away, 13 in fact, while Toby lay bleeding. Those lost moments would become a haunting echo in the case, each second weighted with questions of life and death. Even as she sat in the interrogation room, Courtney seemed focused on shaping her story, emphasizing that Toby had attacked her first and that her actions were purely in self-defense. She spoke carefully, her words seemingly crafted to justify the tragedy, as if gauging whether her story would keep her from an immediate arrest. 2 hours into Courtney's initial interview, a solemn call came through. Toby had succumbed to his injuries. Investigators brought her back in, their expressions grim, to deliver the news. With Toby's death, her account of that night would now face even deeper scrutiny. Every word examined in a light that was growing darker by the minute.
Straightforward with you. There's some concerns about your mental health, to make sure that you're okay, because this is very traumatic. So there may be some steps taken there. Yeah, come on in, to make sure that you're okay. And that's it. But we're getting you home, okay?
Okay.
So, have you met the sergeant?
I have.
Okay. Come on in. So yeah, this will now be recorded.
Okay.
But if at any moment I feel that they should stop recording, I will tell them that, because obviously I'm here to protect you. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's fine.
Okay. Courtney, it's 10:45 p.m. right now. Okay. Let's start off with. So I have a picture. Let me know if this is Christian or not. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Christian. Okay. So we have to inform you that Christian did not make it. Okay. Unfortunately, the doctors did what they could. And
Christian is dead.
Yes.
Oh my God. This is not real, right? Okay. No, there's no fucking way. Christian died? Can I please have a hug? Am I allowed to do that in here?
Sure. Yeah. Relax. It's gonna be fine.
No.
Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. Take deep breaths. Just take deep breaths. You're gonna be okay?
I need to hug my mom.
I'll talk to your parents and get them over here.
I cannot be left alone in like a room by myself.
You won't be.
After this. No, that's not true. That's not real, right?
It is real.
Christian is dead.
Yes. They're not gonna lie.
I know, I just can't believe it.
I'll talk to your parents. I'll get them. I'm gonna get your parents here ASAP.
We spoke to your parents, and they're trying to do everything possible to get you as soon as possible as well.
To what?
To get your parents, for them to come over here. So they're doing everything possible right now to find a way to get down here.
Deep breaths. Just take deep breaths.
I've been crying so much.
Don't.
And I just can't even cry right now.
Just take deep breaths. It's a shock. Just relax. Try to relax and.
Okay.
We're gonna get you somebody here. Okay.
Holy shit. No.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine.
Many expected Courtney to leave the precinct in handcuffs, facing immediate charges in the death of Christian Toby Obumseli. Instead, she was sent to a mental health facility for a brief 48-hour stay, after which she returned to her normal life. Detectives refrained from charging her right away, stating that they believed her claims of self-defense. But Toby's family was heartbroken and bewildered, struggling to reconcile this narrative with the kind, gentle man they knew. A man they were certain would never be capable of the violence Courtney described. Soon, Courtney resumed her nights out, slipping back into the familiar hum of the Miami nightlife scene, often with her father by her side. The sight of her out at clubs stung Toby's family, intensifying their grief and anger. They resolved to seek justice on their own, hiring a private attorney to investigate and uncover the truth about what happened that night. In June 2022, only 2 months after Toby's death, Courtney purchased a sprawling home in Lake Point, Texas, close to her parents. Not long after, investigators discovered she was moving large sums of money from her personal account into an account under her father's name, a transfer that raised red flags and fueled suspicion. For a time, Courtney seemed to live as though she were beyond reach, free to enjoy her days without consequence. But the end was drawing near, and her arrest was only a matter of time. On August 10th, 2022, in a dramatic twist, Courtney was arrested and charged with second-degree murder. Prosecutors revealed the months-long delay in her arrest was due to the painstaking process of gathering evidence to build an ironclad case. Piece by piece, they had uncovered a chilling narrative of escalating abuse, text exchanges that revealed troubling dynamics, elevator footage capturing Courtney physically attacking Toby, and police body cam videos from previous domestic violence calls to their condo. The medical examiner's report refuted Courtney's story about throwing the knife. It was clear the wound didn't match her claim. But the prosecution had one more crucial piece of evidence, one that Courtney never knew existed. During some of their worst arguments, Toby had secretly recorded her. The recordings were haunting, capturing Courtney's fits of rage, the moments when she spiraled, lashing out physically and verbally. At her most frustrated, she hurled racial slurs at Toby, exposing a side of herself she'd hidden from the public. The recordings would become vital in shaping a damning picture of their relationship, one marred by relentless abuse. As Courtney awaits trial in jail without bond, her attorneys fight for her release. They maintain she acted in self-defense, insisting she threw the knife from a distance to protect herself rather than attacking him at close range. The judge will decide next month whether she'll be granted bond, leaving both the defense and the public waiting in suspense. And as the trial looms, one question hangs heavily in the air. Will Courtney be convicted of second-degree murder, a charge that could mean a lifetime behind bars? Christian's story casts a stark light on a painful reality. Men can be victims of abuse too. Like many in his position, he may have endured the torment in silence, out of embarrassment or the hope that things would change. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, remember that help is available. Don't wait to reach out. Call 879-973 or text BEGIN to 88788 for assistance.